fight I had was with a man, and it was about how I feel like men in the music industry can get away with like singing bad stylistically, but women can't. Like when women try to do it on purpose, they're written off as bad or like they talentless, but when men do it, it's like, oh, that they're a musical genius. This is like their style. So yeah, but the man I was talking to didn't get it. You know what? Okay, I have actually been a bit of an Addison Rae convert. I used to write her off as just a TikToker, but like the music is undeniable. It's really good. She's really good. I I drink caffeine for purely function purposes, so it's usually just a black coffee straight down. Very boring. I usually, if I'm in a bad place, I'm gonna listen to the Bollywood music I grew up with. There's just one song called Kal Ho Na Ho. It's my favorite song of all time. It's usually that on repeat or songs from this movie called Hum Tum. It's like just hits the right spot. Okay, uh, in my perfect party situation, everyone's gonna have fun regardless if you're drinking or not. You don't need alcohol to have a good time. There's gonna be Just Dance on a Wii in one corner. There's gonna be karaoke. There's gonna be board games. There's gonna be like 2000s pop playing at all times. You can come as early as like 6:30. Maybe we can like chill and eat a little bit, hang out. I would like to go to bed at a reasonable hour, so like 2 at the latest. I don't know the name of the song, but you know that song that like it feels like it's at the end of every coming of age movie where it's like da na 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 na. Do you know what that song is called? Whatever that is. I create, honestly, it's out of like spiritual necessity to me. I think creating is one of like the most divine things we can do as humans. Like we come from a creator and we're like imbued with the ability to create. So I feel like we just owe it to ourselves as humans to follow that impulse and do it. So I really can't imagine a life in which I don't create. My dishes. They're my hands down least favorite chore. Yeah, they're sitting in my sink right now for sure. This is what I've been told, and I think I believe it's true, but it's like yellow or orange yellow kind of gold vibes. Um, I was actually watching it today. There's my friend recommended this anime called Free Ren, and I don't usually watch anime, but um, this specific one is super interesting because it follows like these fantastical characters, um, and they like battle demons and go on all these adventures. But the show takes place in between all the adventures, so it just shows like the aftermath of the battles and how the characters grow as people. So it's just like it's a show that's just like a collection of vignettes and just focused on like the journey these characters are having, and it's really beautiful. Um, I think my best friend has the biggest heart in the whole world. She's like dedicated her life to how she can optimally help as many people as she possibly can. Um, and I think she makes me a better person. She's just so deeply caring. Biggest animal fiend you'll ever meet. She has so many animals, and we also used to be college roommates, and like like other than the relationship I'm in now, I've never felt more cared for in my life. Like she's just absolutely the best. I love her so much. this is so stupid, but dry shampoo probably. Like I'm diehard dry shampoo lover. We go like this. I've kind of have two answers to this. One was the Bollywood song that I mentioned, Kal Ho Na Ho, my favorite song of all time. I don't know, no other song has really made me feel that way, and it's just like instant connection to both my childhood but also my culture. But then for a song that I'm like currently really obsessed with, there's this TikTok artist, or I found her on TikTok. Her name is Izzy Ammo, and she has a song called Her Eyes, and the melody in that song is just so crazy pretty. It's like a pop punk rock song, but also it's just like insanely pretty with all these harmonies, and her vocals are out of this world, and so that song has been on repeat. I kind of had a roundabout way into my music journey. Like I didn't really think I could have a career in music until I was almost graduated from college. And so I graduated with an English major, and I like I always knew that I was a good writer. And so I think because of that, my entry point into it, the writing has always come first to me. And it's something that I've always felt pretty confident about. But actually, now that I think about it, the very first times I ever wrote songs, I was probably like 8 or 9, and I was a big Hannah Montana fan. And so I would take her songs and I would strip out her words and I would put in my own. And so I think even just like those were, I would say, were my first songs. It was literally just like writing lyrics to Hannah Montana songs. In terms of lyrics, I actually think I'm more inspired by like literature and flash fiction, and because I've had sort of training in that, I feel like what I've learned from going to school in English influences how I write my lyrics a lot. But then melodically, like I'm unabashedly a pop loving girl. Like I'm just the early 2000s pop girlies, I would say, were kind of my biggest um, influences when it comes to like composing a song. This is so, this is kind of random. Do they have to be living?
No.
Okay, maybe Josephine Baker. Do you know who she is? Yeah, it's just like she was just such a remarkable woman, and like she's done so much. She did so much in her life that it's like it feels like her life was fictional, and I just like would love to just be in her body and have her brain and just like understand how she was able to do everything that she did. Like she's just like just such a remarkable woman.
Yeah.
There's a cat that's been hanging out in the courtyard of my apartment, and I've been trying to like court it because I can't tell if this cat has an owner or not. He's just been hanging out, and so I'm like trying to become friends with this cat. But it's just I don't know. He's just kind of silly. He I think what made me laugh the other day was when I visited him like a week ago. He was walking kind of funny, like his back legs were limp, and I was like super concerned about him. And I was like on this big Google hunt and asking all of like my best friend and everybody who knew about cats like what to do or whatever. And then I showed up the next day and he was fine. And I was just like laughing because I got myself so stressed out for no reason, and this cat was probably just like tired or whatever. Um, but yeah, I'm still on my quest to court this cat. Probably astrophysics. I've just like always had a fascination with the subject. I literally have like books about it in my library that I read for fun. I can't tell you how much I've actually retained what I've read, but I do enjoy reading about it, and I'm really fascinated about space. And I love feeling small and inconsequential. I think my ethos as an artist and like what I really want to provide people is I'm really candid about my journey and how I'm growing as a person, and um, I try to carry that with me through my art, and like I want to be able to provide that experience for other people too. So like as others are consuming my art, they're able to kind of confront themselves, and we can all sort of grow together, like in parallel. And I'm, it sounds like there's no like not pretentious way to say this, but I'm just really interested in exploring what it means to be human. And I think art is a feedback loop, and I'm interested in doing that with other people. And like, I love to see how people react to my work, and I feel like that influences how I create more. And yeah, I think I'm all about growing. Doing less, which is paradoxical, working more on doing less. But I, one of the big things is I'm trying to be on my phone a lot less often. And that's a bit of a challenge because like I want to stay connected and I want to know what people are up to and stuff, but then also like I want to reconnect with the ability to be bored. I feel like I don't know how to be bored anymore. So even just like sitting around and doing nothing and just staring at a wall for 30 minutes, like I would love to do that. I wrote I Don't Want to Fight in like March or April last year, and it was one of those rare instances where I just sat down on my bed with my guitar, and it just all of the melodies just kind of flew out at once. The first thing that came out was the I don't wanna fight, and as soon as it came out of me, I was like, I was about to go to bed, and I was like, damn it, I have to finish the song now. But it was something about that song in particular, but also what I just love about songwriting in general is I didn't realize that I was even feeling those emotions or going through those things until it came out of me, and it really like made me confront myself and was has been a big part of my healing journey. And actually kind of an interesting story about this song too. I think a month after I'd written the bass draft of it, I was like fleshing it out, and I had a friend in the room, and she was listening to it, and she was like, I know these lyrics are sad, but there's something about this song that feels kind of hopeful to me. And at the time I was like really going through it, and I was like, no, you're just listening to it wrong. There's like nothing hopeful about this song. The song is just sad. But now I listen back to it a year later after I've healed a lot, and I like hear the hope in it. So I think it's just really cool that there was some part of me that was subconsciously hopeful and optimistic and growing, even if like I wasn't aware of it at the time. So yeah, the song is really special to me, and yeah, it just means a lot to me. I will say like the overarching concept for this EP is I'm exploring like young adulthood, coming of age, and each song represents almost a different stage of grief about shedding your old self and stepping into a new person. And so this next song, Overstay, is, I guess, another step of grief, another stage of evolution in the journey. But even beyond that, like it's a fun song. I feel like this is probably my most upbeat, fun song on the EP, and it's just like good old fashioned, petty, angry fun, which I feel like as women we don't often let ourselves like feel that fully, but like writing Overstay, which is the name of the song, was like so cathartic for me because I was like, I don't have to be polite. I can be rude. I can be vile. I can be mean. I can be petty. And like, it just feels good to let myself feel those things. So that song was very cathartic for me to write. And I hope that like people will feel that too.